The minority leader in Parliament, Haruna Iddrisu, has described the president's visit to the Black Stars in Qatar as the best motivation offered to the players. He said this on the floor of Parliament when contributing to a statement of the Black Stars' performance.
Who paid a visit to the national football team in Qatar ahead of their game with Portugal, which has been criticized by some Ghanaians. In a statement on the floor of Parliament, a day after the 3-2 defeat of the team by Portugal, the minority leader said the gesture by President Akufo was encouraging and showed the love for the country to the players.
And therefore, is to be able to beat South Korea and Uruguay to advance to the next stage. And I believe that the Black Stars would have been better settled to do us the honors of making sure that the cup gets to Ghana. So far, so good. We need to commend government, except that, again, government, some of the reports we are getting, if the Minister for Youth and Sports is here, some of the supporters who got into Qatar yesterday got stranded. Some of them had problems with accommodation. Some even went to the stadium without tickets, even though they were assured that they will be given tickets and others. That shouldn't happen. So the support base could have been much more stronger if those administrative bottlenecks were not. I'm not blaming anybody. I won't know what occasion it, but I have credible report that some of our supporters could not make it to the stadium because their tickets didn't get to them on time or just didn't get to them. And hotel accommodation, Mr. Speaker, is still a problem in Qatar because of the smallness of the town and the fact that people put up in areas that otherwise they would not want to do. So, Mr. Speaker, once again, we commend the gallant Black Stars. The country is still united and standing strong behind them to bring us the laurels of gold, which will be to advance to the next stage and make sure that they bring the cup home. It was encouraging to see the president interact with our players. That's the best motivation they could get. I'm sure he would have whispered some assurance to them what the country would have done for them if they were able to win the first, second, advancing into the next stage. And Mr. Speaker, again, to commend the Black Stars leadership, Dede Ayu, for showcasing the smoke that you wore so beautifully yesterday. My understanding from what I've read is that when they were entering Qatar, all of them dressed gallantly as Ghanaians, showcasing a made-in-Ghana product of a smoke. We should encourage the use of it. So, Mr. Speaker, probably as you do parliamentary diplomacy, we now have sports diplomacy. How we do it, probably, we all could learn to see how we use football, which unites this country. But, Mr. Speaker, we can be very, very proud of the performance of the Black Stars, and we should encourage them. If they are able to win their next two matches, we still have the opportunity to qualify to the next stage. So all the best to the gallant Black Stars. And then those other administrative issues, the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports and the leadership of the GFA must urgently move in to support Ghanaian citizens and supporters in Qatar who are kind of stranded and have some difficulties with accommodation and related matters accessing the soccer stadium. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.